Truro's, ever since COVID started, it's needed like a bit of a breath of fresh air into it, and I feel like this has brought a sense of community back into the city centre, really, as it's allowed us to have the outdoor space to expand our cafe and expand the capacity that we've got, letting everyone enjoy all of our food and drinks. It's definitely engaged a lot more with customers and getting a lot more people in.
I think it's a really good start. I think the concept is great. The obvious problem is that there's still quite a lot of traffic coming through, which people, don't appreciate, that the planters and the change in scheme is actually in place. So a lot of traffic coming through, and I'm also quite surprised by how many buses come through. So I guess in an ideal world, reduce the traffic further, certainly reduce the buses further, but the concept, definitely good. Obviously makes the street a healthier place to be. People will spend more time, and it's a first step, I suppose, towards a more coordinated pedestrianisation scheme.
I think it's going really well. People are still sitting in it, enjoying it, speaking to the business and all of that. They seem to have a lot more footfall, and there's so much uncertainty at the moment. It's just nice to try something new.
The traffic levels have definitely been reduced through the town centre. However, there's still work to be done. We're looking at the signage to increase the signage so motorists know that they shouldn't come through. The general feeling of Boscawen Street is that it's much more relaxed. People are sat outside on the benches. We've never seen this before in Boscawen Street. People having lunch, having a takeaway coffee, sat out in the sunshine.
It's had its challenges, no doubt about that. I've had mixed views from residents and the community as to how it's actually working, but generally I'm getting some positive responses. People are sort of happy with the sort of more relaxed atmosphere, people spending sort of longer in the town centre, which is what the general aim behind this is. The biggest problem, I would say, probably is the number of buses coming through and the potential conflict there, and that is something that really does need to be addressed.
I think Truro is an interesting city. Lots of people want to come here, but actually the road layout isn't particularly conducive. There's no circular route for vehicles to go round easily, and particularly for buses. Any diversion that we have to make adds time to the schedule, and for the services that look after Truro, there really isn't a viable option that doesn't inconvenience the passengers that have accessibility challenges. We need to be able to get people to the city centre, and when we're looking at sort of how we're going to bring the high street back to life, let's not forget that Greener Journeys research shows us that over 30% of city centre footfall comes from public transport users. So there's really good reasons why we have to keep the buses in Truro, because overall it's going to help Truro solve some of its biggest problems.
Having this trial of it is amazing because it's allowing us to see what it does to the community, and the high street, obviously the high street is struggling, and we need to be bringing back a sense of events to smaller cities like Truro, and I think having something like this has really increased, and it's create a sense of event. Like when you're going into Truro, have you seen the new displays, have you seen the new greenery, have you seen how lush it is, and having this sense of pride in that the money's being put back into the Truro city centre, and it kind of, I think it really has increased footfall, and it has given us a bit more of a special sense to the city.